Hi everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today we're going to be making this pretty Christmas card in some non-traditional Christmas colors, but I just love how the blue, white, and silver all looks together. So let's get started. So we're going to start with a piece of the thick Whisper White, and this is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and I did score it at 4 1/4. Just give it a run through with the bone folder. And then we have the next piece is a piece of the silver glimmer paper, and that is cut at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then our next piece is a piece of the Seaside Spray, and this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Now I did already run this one through the Big Shot with an embossing folder. This is called the Scripty embossing folder, and it's got nice writing on it, and this is in the annual catalog. So I'll hold that up again so you can, hopefully the camera will pick it up. So we're going to put that to the side, and then there is a piece of Whisper White, and this is cut at 4 1/8 by 1 3/8, and this was also run through the Big Shot. This I used the subtle embossing folder, and this is also in the annual catalog. And I'll just hold this piece up a little bit so you can see it really is subtle, the effect on it. So it's nice just to give a piece of paper a little bit of texture. So I'm just going to trim this, and I'm just going to cut a piece off so we have a little dimension in there. And then I'm going to do my circles here. And these are done with our circle punches. And the first one I'm going to use is the 2.5 inch punch. I do think this one is retired, but you can use your circle dies to get a similar measurement. And I am going to use the piece of the silver glimmer that's in the background, because you're never going to know that there's a piece missing from it, and it just helps save some paper. And then I need a piece of Whisper White, so I just have a piece of scrap Whisper White, and on this one I'm going to use the 2 1/4 inch circle punch, and we'll just get a circle there. And then we need to work on the trees, so let's leave that out and just put that aside. Okay, so the first tree we'll do is this white tree, and this is from the Perfectly Plaid stamp set. This is in the holiday catalog, and we're going to be using a combination of the leaves and the tree with the branches. However, both of these kind of work on their own if you don't want to use them together. So the first one we're going to do is this outline of the tree, and I'm going to stamp it in Seaside Spray. And again, I'm just going to use this scrap piece of white. Just going to stamp that right here. And then I'm going to fill it in with the same Seaside Spray with the leaves. Now, excuse my head if it gets in the way. I just need to see to line it up properly here. Just takes a minute. There we go. Oh, maybe not. Let's try that one more time. All right. If you really want to get exact, you can always get out your Stamparatus, and that will help, but I was just trying to eyeball it here for time's sake. Let's see. Line that up like that. So I'm just trying to line up the bottom leaves and then the top branch. Okay, that's much better. Alrighty, so then the last thing we need to stamp is the Joy to the World, and this is out of the Itty Bitty Christmas stamp set, and I've used this to death. I've definitely gotten my money's worth out of this one. They're just great sayings by themselves if you need a little sentiment somewhere, or even putting some together. So we're going to stamp the Joy to the World over here, and then we'll get that with the circle punch as well. So this is the 1 1/4 inch circle punch, and it fits just perfectly with the Joy to the World. And then I'm going to come in with the tree punch, and this punch and the stamp set are coordinated together, and if you buy them both in a bundle you do get 10% off, so it does save you a little bit of money. So we're just going to line up the tree My leaves are still a little bit off, but we're going to go with it. There we go. And then we're going to do some stamping in the same tree, but we're going to do directly onto Seaside Spray. So I'm going to come back in with just the outline this time. And I'm just going to do this twice. And then we'll use the punch again. Alrighty. And here we go one more time. Oops. It benefits you if you just take a minute and line it up properly instead of having to re-stamp it again if you're off. So I like to just take a minute just to get it the way I like it. All right, so then we need a couple of ribbon pieces. We're going to be doing some detailing with the ribbon here. We can put the stamp pad away. And I'm just going to take a piece of this gorgeous Seaside Spray ribbon. It's a metallic ribbon. It's a 1/4 inch wide, and you get approximately 10 yards. We only need a couple of inches. And then I'm going to use the metallic edge ribbon. This is the white with the silver. And I'm just going to color in with my stamping blend. I do this quite often, so I have whatever color ribbon I want. And it's very easy to do. You just run your Stampin' Blend over the ribbon to get however much you want, whatever length. And then just trim it off. And you're all set. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these circles together now. If I can figure out where I put them. Here we go. So we're just going to snail that right on to our circle, and then I'll put on the ribbon. So I'm just going to snail a little bit here, stick my ribbon on, fold it over to the length I want, put a little more snail, and then press down. There you go. And then we're going to do it with the second ribbon as well, just the same thing. We're going to press down after we put on some snail, snail again, and then I just want this one just a little bit longer than the other. You can do it whatever length you want. And there we go. So let's put on some of our base pieces so we can adhere that to our base. So the first piece we're going to put down is the silver glimmer. And I always give this just a little bit extra snail on both the front and the piece that's going to stick to it, because I find it just needs it. It's a little bit heavier. And when you're adhering to the front of the silver where it's glimmery, you need the extra just because it can slide off a little bit. But if you just give a little bit of extra, then it should be fine. And then we're going to adhere this right on here like this. Perfect. And then for this piece, I'm going to pop it up on some dimensionals. Oops. Once again, these things go everywhere, right? Okay. Oh, wait. Before we do that, let's put down this this detailing piece here. So I'm just going to snail this piece on like this, and I'm going to come right over to the edge, right in the middle of the card, right to the edge of where I put the silver, and press that down. And then we can put on our silver piece with the circle. And again, I'm going pretty much to the edge on that one. All right, so then we need to do the trees, and the first trees I do are the blue trees, the Seaside Spray, and I'm just gonna put some dimensionals. That's not sticking where I want it to stick. There we go. And maybe we'll use some minis up at the top here, if I can find some. Here we go. So we'll take those off. Sometimes the longest part of the card is getting these backings off the dimensionals, at least for me. All right, let's see. That one does not want to come off. There we go. All right, so then I'm going to just put them a little bit up off center. So I've got one to this side, and then these are going to overlap a little bit. One to this side, and then we're going to come in with our last tree here. Almost done with these dimensionals. And then this one I'm going to lower just a little bit so it's in front and pop it on like that. So then our last piece here is the Joy to the World. I'm just going to stick a dimensional on here. And I went kind of under the first tree but over the second tree, just like that. So here are 2 cards. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're not already working with the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love a chance to work with you. And thank you so much for watching.